My camera's being real fussy today. Hey! Hello! My name's Alicia. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a long time, but I wanted to kind of give y'all a little bit review of what I've been doing, and as you can see, I'm not in my room. I am in my dorm at college, so I've been a little bit busy, but I'm going to do a little bit of a mini fall book haul, and I'm also going to review a couple of the books that I have read since then. And some of them are for school and some of them aren't. So let's just get right into it. In order to tell you a little bit more about myself, I am currently going to college with a major in arts and humanities, and I'm planning on minoring in dance. I am currently taking French class, which has been but it's been good so far. And I'm really enjoying my classes. They're super interesting, and I'm really excited to do more arts and humanities stuff because it's been really, really great so far, and I'm enjoying it a lot. The first book that I got was a graphic novel, and so there's a little graphic novel comic book shop near where I am living, and I went there with my friends the first week, and I was going to get Deadly Class, but they didn't have it, so I kind of looked around and I got this novel, this graphic novel called She-Wolf by Rich Tommaso, and it's like a horror graphic novel, but I really, really liked the art. It's super pretty, and here, let me find a good page. It's super pretty, and so it caught my eye, and it's really cool, and the description is, it's about a Satan-worshipping teenage girl who believes she's been bitten by a werewolf, and she begins to experience nightmares, and it just sounds super interesting, and so I'm really excited to read this. The next few mini books that I have are the ones that I had to read for school for a class that I'm taking that is Intro to Women Authors, and the book that we started with was Conundrum by Jan Morris, which is a memoir by a journalist, a British journalist, I believe, and I thought it was fine. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars. It was good, but it wasn't my favorite book. The next book that we read was The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, which I actually really liked, and it was really good, and I think I gave it 4 stars, and it's a novel about a girl who is growing up in, I don't remember where, but it's in the South, and she is judged very harshly for her skin tone, and it's about her story growing up, and it starts out, I don't want to spoil anything, but it starts out very dark, and it's very good deep dive into how race affects our lives and how it affects especially children, and so I really enjoyed reading this. The next book that we read was Zami, A New Spelling of My Name by Audre Lorde, and this is a memoir of Audre Lorde. She's a poet, and she's especially involved in the Black arts movement in the 50s and 60s, and this is a memoir of her life growing up as a Black lesbian in New York City in the 50s, and it was super interesting. I really, really liked this book. I think I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, and I thought it was a very, very cool, interesting, in-depth reading of someone's experience who I have not necessarily experienced myself, obviously, because I am a white cisgender person. So I thought that was really cool to read about, and it was also very poetic the way she writes it, which was really, really cool, and plus she's just a really awesome person. Highly recommend this. It's very good. She's very big on intersectionality, and so she gives a really, really good view of what intersectionality, I can't speak today, of what intersectionality actually is. And the final book that I read for this class is called Woman at Point Zero by Nawal El-Saadawi, and this is actually probably one of my favorite books that I've read for this class so far. It's only 108 pages, and it's about a woman in the 70s who is arrested in Egypt, and she is a prostitute, and she is going to be executed for killing her pimp. And the book is a journalist going to this prison and interviewing her, and it's kind of I think the genre is technically categorized as creative nonfiction, so it's a real story, but it's been written in a way such that it feels fictionalized. And I thought it was super, super, super good. Like I said, it's very short, it's very condensed, but it's a very, very good glimpse into how the sex industry is affected and affects women, especially in a time and a place where women are generally very looked down upon for being sexual. And so I thought this was a really interesting book. It gave me a really new and different perspective on sexuality and women and in a different time period, and I thought this was really, really good, and I will probably be keeping this after my class is over. So a couple of the books that I have up along the way are also going to be included in this, so I've been procrastinating a little bit. And so one of the more recent books I've read is, of course, Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, and this is obviously a very big book, and I have been watching John's videos, and Hank's videos, of course, too, since I was in middle school, and I think they're the best, and I've read all of John's books, and this one is probably my favorite. It is such a good depiction of mental illness, and even though I personally have not struggled with OCD, my struggle has been more with depression, some anxiety, and ADHD. The way that mental illness affects your life and your relationships with your friends is so similar, and I really, really connected to that with this book. I think that Aza's struggle is very really depicted, and I know that Ariel Bissett mentioned this in her review of this book, and I thought it was a very, very good way of saying it, is that it doesn't feel teen angsty. It is all of the characters, even though they have problems, and even though they complain about their problems, there's always reasons for it, and there's always something that they're doing to forward the plot, which is very, very good. And I just thought this book was a very new and interesting and realistic depiction of mental illness that is not often seen in novels, and that's really important for people to read about and to experience. And so this book got 5 out of 5 stars for me. The most recent book that I have picked up and read is the third Magnus Chase book, and my mom wanted me to ask for this for Christmas, and I said no because I could not wait to read it. I think it's so important. Magnus Chase is probably one of my favorite series of Rick Riordan after like the original Percy Jackson series. I have grown up with Rick Riordan's books. They're such a big part of my life, and this is probably one of the best series he's ever written. He includes so many diverse characters. Magnus is such a unique hero in these books. He's not the typical brave, put himself out there in the front kind of hero. He relies on his friends. He relies on the help of others, and that's very refreshing to see in an adventure novel, especially middle grade. And I love his inclusion of so many different characters from all different walks of life, such as Alex, who is gender fluid, and they are so good. I love Alex as a character. They're so funny. There's so much, they're so sassy, and I love it. And in addition to that, Sam, who is a Valkyrie, she helps out Magnus a lot. She is Muslim, and especially throughout this novel, she is in the middle of Ramadan, which is a month long in the Muslim faith where you don't eat or drink from sunup to sundown. And so basically, the entire time they're fighting monsters, she is not allowed to nourish herself, which is very difficult, but she's such a badass, and she does such a good job, and she's such a loving character. And I love how he includes so many different people in these books without making them feel tokenized or killing them off, like a lot of people do with representative characters. And it's just, they're so good! 5 out of 5 stars! And the other Rick Riordan book that I read this, season was Trials of Apollo, the second book, The Dark Prophecy. And I read this at the very beginning of the year, so I don't remember all the minute plot points, but it was so good! So this series is about Apollo, who has ticked off Zeus, and as revenge, Zeus turns Apollo into a mortal teenager. And to regain his god status, Apollo has to go on these quests to restore the prophecies that have been destroyed in the previous series. So this book, they're hunting a prophecy that turns people mad, and it's super good. And like I said, in Magnus Chase, Rick Riordan does a really good job of including a lot of different characters from a lot of different walks of life and not making them feel like, they're just here because they're here. They are full. So this book, A+, 5 stars. I don't remember because my camera stopped recording, and that keeps happening today. Alright, so I also took a trip to New York this summer for 2 weeks, and I bought books because you're in New York, why wouldn't you buy books? They're Strand books. So I got a bunch of stickers that have different things in New York in them. Here, wait, I'll show you. So I got these 2 super cute stickers. P.S. also got to meet Thomas Sanders. That's a story for another video. And I also got one that has the Brooklyn Bridge on it, and I also got this super cute pencil case that's currently filled with command strips because college, and it's got a bunch of different authors, and they are all like superheroes, and Shakespeare's in the middle, holding Hamlet and Macbeth. There is Herman Melville with Moby Dick, Emily Bronte with Wuthering Heights, Pride and Prejudice, and Sense and Sensibility with Jane Austen, Homer with the Iliad, Oscar Wilde with Dorian Gray, and Dante with Inferno. And so they're like superheroes, and it's super cute. So I got 2 books while I was there. First one is this cute little edition of Twelfth Night that has just these little designs on the front and back. And it is a Penguin edition. This is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. It's so witty. It's very classic, dry Shakespeare humor. Lots of mistaken identity and love, and lots of characters, and it's really funny, and I got to see it on stage like a couple months ago, and it was super great. And so I'm really glad that I got this, but I'm kind of wishing, and hopefully at some point I'll be able to get Romeo and Juliet as well, because I also got to see that, and it was A+. And the other book that I got in New York that really caught my eye was this Ryan North book. It is Romeo and or Juliet, a choose-your-own-adventure Shakespeare. And I am about, I don't know if you can see that, about halfway through it, and I mean, you can't really measure that much with a choose-your-own-adventure book, though, to be honest. So I've been working my way through this, and it's great for college because I can just pick it up, and I can read a little bit, and I can put it back down, and I'm not missing any, like, plot points, and these little illustrations that are on the front are also within the book. So, like, every time you finish an ending, there's a cute little illustration, and it is super fun to read. Ooh, there's a double take. So they're super, super fun, and it's just really entertaining to read, and his writing style is really hilarious and sarcastic and witty, and I love it. I can't wait to read more of this. So in addition to a New York trip for 2 weeks, I also got to take a day trip to a Shakespeare festival, and I saw Twelfth Night and Romeo and Juliet, both of which were amazing. I love Romeo and Juliet so much more than I ever thought I could now. And while I was there, I also picked up Ryan North's other book, which is a choose-your-own-adventure Hamlet called To Be or Not to Be. And I have not read any of this yet. I'm very excited to, though, because if it's anything like Romeo and or Juliet, I will love it. It has got the same little illustrations. Ooh, a whole page. And so it looks super funny, and I'm very excited to read it. Ho ho ho. So, I showed you that I had Turtles All the Way Down, but the way I actually got that book was through a subscription box called Book of the Month Club. They were having a deal where if you bought 2 months of their subscription service, they would give you John Green's new book for free, which I'm down for, and then you get 2 other books. So that's totally the kind of deal I'm down for. So I picked out my October Book of the Month, and it comes with these little logos on them that say Book of the Month Club, and so I picked out The Power by Naomi Alderman, and it is a sci-fi kind of dystopian novel, and it is based around the idea that women all of a sudden gain the power to shoot electricity out of their hands, which literally gives them the power. And so I thought this was super in line with my women's lit class in a women power novel, and something that would be a little bit darker and a little bit scarier. And so I'm super excited to read this, and it sounds great, and the cover is beautiful, and it was pretty cheap. And the last bookish haul thing that I have to show you is I went to the bookstore nearby my school a couple of days ago, and I was going to get a book for one of my classes, and then I realized I could get it from the library, and so I didn't. But then I was browsing, and I saw this little Degas book, which was $3, and I love Degas because I am a dancer, and so it is some of my favorite art to just admire, and I thought this would make a great coffee table book, and it's just Art Institute of Chicago, book about Degas, and it has some of his paintings in it, and I just love it, and I'm super happy because it was cheap, and it'll be a good coffee table book. So, that is my kind of sporadic fall book hauls slash book reviews slash what the heck I've been up to. Hopefully I will be able to make more videos at some point soon. And thank you for watching. I will see you soon later. Thank you. I am Bookish Lish. And this outro needs work because I haven't practiced. Bye! Now it's not focusing. Why is that? Alrighty, hold on. Oh, there we go. Bud, stay. Do not fall asleep on me. I think it might be battery, actually. I don't know why, but my camera won't record for longer than 30 seconds. Yuck. Darn it. Okay. Hoping framing's right.